What's up, everybody? This is Rob Barrington here, and this is the results video for our weekend Pro-Am. And these are the actual correct leaders as of today after this weekend's tournament. We have John Hurd in the lead after his win last week, but he couldn't manage any points this week. He stays with 26 with 1 point for actually playing. Kevin Bathurst, same thing, 19. Ishmael Del Monte, he's a new pro. He's been playing for the last few weeks. I just wasn't sure if it was the same guy we were talking about, and he reached out, and he's been playing, and he is another robot whisperer like some of the other guys in this tournament. And Brad, solid finish this week. Brad Moss up to 7. So we have quite a few weeks left, so there's a lot that can happen in this leaderboard, including many of you getting in the way of these leaders to kind of take away some of their available points. You're looking at my results for this past week, and they were pretty brutal. I was hopped up on a lot of cold medicine, so I'm not making excuses, but yeah, I'm kind of making excuses. Especially the first board's hilarious. You know, the best result on the first board is 6 diamonds making, so you can make a slam, but to go down 2 and 3 no trump takes a special person. But however, there were a lot of us special people on some of these boards, and really, when you look at my auction on this first one, which we'll get into in a second, I think we had this at a lot of different tables. So first things first, congrats to all the pros here for scoring their points, and we will see what happens in the next few weeks as to who can claim victory. Usually if someone posts a big result in week 3, you know, we have a lot to talk about in the last week, so we'll see what happens. But here, let's jump in and see the results from this past week's. As you can see, I'm just sitting there right at like 55%. So this is a spot where, you know, I'm not unhappy, especially knowing how bad my first 2 boards are. And let's take a look at board number 1 and what I'm talking about with the best result. The best result is 6 diamonds, actually. And the robot actually gives you a really reasonable opportunity to get here on this board. It's just a hilarious backfire when you decide to bid no trump. Look at that heart suit, folks. If they get the heart suit right against you, which they should always, you will be just getting crushed in 3 no trump, just like most of us found out that played 3 no. We'll look at those scores in a second. But really, take a look at this 6 diamond slam. We have a very, very good shot at making this right when we see this, right? We have pitches for our hearts on those spades. We can also rough a heart in the dummy, maybe more than one, right? So when this dummy comes down in 3 no trump, you're pretty upset that you didn't continue bidding diamonds on this hand. But this is my auction, right? They opened a diamond. I bid 2 clubs just to game force right away. And now it went 2 diamonds. I bid 2 spades, just kind of offering up something here. I don't want to kind of commit anywhere. Some players bid 2 no trump. That was helpful actually to them to continue on to slam. But here's the real thing. When they bid 3 diamonds, we have to look at our hand and kind of guess as to what's right. In my experience, the robot really shies away from bidding 3 no trump, even if they have a stopper in this heart suit. And that's what everyone should be thinking about with the South player's hand, right? We're thinking about, my gosh, especially now that I've bid spades, I'm like, am I really going to bid 3 no here when I don't have this suit stopped? Well, I've seen the robot just bypass 3 no so often with a good heart stopper that I can't help but not do it sometimes. And this was the time I chose to do it. You'll see a lot of us in the same boat. A lot of us that had the same exact thought bid 3 no trump. And then we're just, you know, cooked there once they lead a heart. Some people, I think, bid 3 hearts and you escape with your lives because maybe partner bid 3 no. I'll take a look. I think you guys can take a look at those in the results, or a few of those. You know, that might have been good if you avoided a heart lead, right? But here, this is just a spot where I kind of guessed wrong to bid 3 no. But this is a really good hand opposite what partner's telling you with their diamond bids, right? They're telling you they have a long, strong diamond suit. And nothing more than that. That's all they're willing to do. So you should expect a 7-card suit usually. And, you know, Ace, King, 10, 7th is a pretty good representation of what you expect in these spots, or Ace, Queen, 10, 7th. And look at your hand. You're short in the heart suit, the one suit you're going to have some issues with, right? You know, partner doesn't have 4 of these, so they have at most 3. So here, you know, that's an issue suit for no trump. And if partner's weak there, which they're suggesting, but who knows? We've seen it go so many times. Now this hand's really good, right? You have a quick winner in spades. You have quick winners in clubs, or one quick winner, but then a possible setup of the rest of the suit. And hey, you might not need to set up too much if partner has the right cards, and you can see this is that hand, right? So here, Let me show you what I think Brad did to get to 6 diamonds here. And here's Brad Moss. This is pretty straightforward, right? Over 3 diamonds, he just bids 4 no trump, and he says, okay, good. If partner doesn't have good hearts, or honestly, if partner's unwilling to bid 3 no trump, I guess I'll try to bid 6 diamonds in spots like this, and it works out perfectly well, right? 4 no trump, partner bids 5 hearts, which is 2 key cards. And now we're thinking, okay, we only have 4 key cards, but really, we're committed to the 6th level anyway. 4 no trump is always key card in that spot for that last bid suit. So here, you're already expecting to bid 6 diamonds. But here's the deal. If we reliably assume we have 10 diamonds, right? If partner is showing that they have a 7-card diamond suit. So here we could really expect that we have 4 with the queen, right? Because when we have 10 or more of a suit, we just have the queen, right? In fact, if you're in a sequence where you get to show the queen or are being asked about the queen specifically, say you have it when you know you have a 10-card fit. An example is partner opens a spade, you have a 5-card spade holding. Later on, you get the key card. If you have 2 key cards, show the queen, right? That's how you just show that you have at least the 10-card fit, right? And that's a pretty reasonable rule here. And here we kind of think we're going to have that. So at this point, 6 diamonds is very, very good. And take a look at the play here. There's nothing really to it. It goes king of hearts. They take their 1 trick. And now what? Well, they'll play some diamonds. And then we'll just, okay, draw some trump, cash a couple spades, jump over to that ace of clubs, and pitch away my hearts on that nice ace jack of spades. So here, Brad nicely plays it out for us here. showing the best line of play here. You can rough a heart also. He's going through overkill here. Okay, now he's just roughing good tricks just to mess around with the robot. Man, I think this is robot torture. It may be here. He's just looking. He's looking for maybe tells and what they're going to do later on in these hands. I guess I don't know. Interesting choices to play this out, but that's 12 tricks right there, right? And that was quite a few of you made the right choice at some point, right? And that's kind of what you're thinking about when they rebid 3 diamonds. You're just like, okay, am I going to play slam and diamonds, or am I going to play 3 no trump? And here, those of you that just bid 4 no trump, here's Ishmael Del Monte there bidding 6 diamonds as well. Those of us who bid 3 no trump are way down here, going down 2 and more. And this is just because, guess what? Well, they're going to figure out how to actually lead some hearts at some point, especially if you are playing at my table, right? So here, everybody just kind of having some sort of way to get to 3 no trump and just going way, way down, right? So here, don't feel bad, right? Don't worry if you see your name here, right? Here's Sam. Sam actually takes kind of the hey, I don't want to mess around and hopefully they won't lead hearts to lead spades, bids 3 no. Honestly, not unreasonable in spots like this. And here it just goes, disappointment, right? I think John Hurd's down here as well. Great pros playing these hands down 2 and 3 no trump, just like me. So you can't feel too bad, but the construction of this hand, I have to say, pretty darn good, right? This is a spot where, you know, we do have a really, really nice hand opposite what partner is kind of suggesting. But it could very well just be partner has like queen 10, 6 the diamonds, and the ace king of hearts. You know, so it's just like, it's annoying when partner tables that hand and 3 no trump is so good, whereas diamonds would be terrible. This is a hand where those of you that chose to play diamonds, you know, were rewarded handsomely and well deserved with and you gave it the polar opposite score of, hey, those that played 3 no got to go down 2 for the most part, and those that played 6 diamonds, well, they got to make 12 tricks for 920. So congrats, and thank goodness this isn't an IMPS format here. All right, let's see what happened on board 2. All right, board number 2 here, and this is kind of your best result on this one, letting the opponents play 3 clubs and beating it a trick. They made 5 at my table, and that was after a nice, a poor choice of leads for sure, but also then a hiccup later on in the hand. But here we see Michael Berkowitz playing this hand right at the top of the list here, 95.3%. for being in 3 clubs down 1. And look at some of these players playing 5 clubs down 1, right? So here, this is defending quite well, and we saw a mixture of this. The opening lead, which is honestly the pretty standard opening lead, even with the holding you're looking at, is a low club on this hand, right? The auction goes a club, a heart on our left, a spade. And notice we're not bidding with the south end, right? The best results on this did not have a bid in the south player's chair. Those of you that kicked it to 5 clubs, you made some sort of bid with the south player's chair, and they actually played even higher level contract against you. So here, I guess you did push them up on this board, but still, you can't really make any good call with this hand, right? This is not going to overcall. You don't have 5 cards in the suit. You can't double because you only have 2 hearts, right? And that's a suit partner's going to pick so frequently, right? So you're going to have to pass if you make a takeout double after your partner makes their call, right? So don't box yourself into a corner here to play hang partner with a bad suit there, right? Only 2 of those, right? You want to have 3 in all the unbids, and really, you want to have at least 4-3 in the majors always. Like, make that a habit when you're doubling a minor suit, right? So here, no call, right? Which is fine. It goes a club, a heart, a spade. You're still liking this, right? And now it goes 3 clubs. Okay, you're leading to a 3-level contract. So they bid 3 suits, and you happen to have good cards in one of them behind the East player, right? So this is a really good time to think about leading trump. And I know you might see King third over here and say, well, I can't lead from that. Well, you would be right if it was King Doubleton, right? You would never choose this, or Queen third, right? Really bad. But with King third and Ace third, these are usually cards that are easily led away from, especially when you think the ace is most likely to be to your right. Which here I would say, I guess we can't know that, but here if it's to our left, we are unlikely giving them too much on this hand. We know they have a 9-card fit. Our partner doesn't have many over there at all, okay? So here, or at least it seems like they do have a 9-card fit, and you can see it's actually 10. Right, so here Michael actually leads a low club, and this just gets you off to really good defense. Watch what happens here after this. Now they're going to draw 1 round of trump themselves. And then they're going to say, oh, well, maybe I should think about maybe getting some of these roughs in while I can. And here, now you've already put quite a bit of a dent in their roughing ability right off the bat here. And they can rough a diamond, but now you found the suit that you can tap them in, right? And now it goes heart to the ace, king of hearts, and then a heart, which now you can either rough or allow them to rough. And that's what Mikey lets that one pass. So now he gets to win a spade. And then draw around to trump. And here comes a diamond. Hey, let's get that last trump out of that hand. And now we've set up some tricks. And here they even refuse to trump at that point. Once again, just setting up a heart trick possibly, or just this spade that happens at the end. And there you go. Right? And that's drawing trump early. Those of you that might have defended against 5 clubs, if you don't lead a trump, right, they can just take more tricks, right? You're going to get some tricks, and maybe you get a little tap going on, right? But now they can just rough more spades in that dummy over there, and that's the one we want to kind of curtail the roughing in. And this is a hand when you get to that lead, and here we go. Here's another 3 clubs down 1. Here's a club lead, boom, right? Catching a theme, right? The low levels. Here's where Luca Dobrescu, boom, boom, low club. Right, so the trump lead is relatively obvious, and here, unfortunately, at my table, I just honestly thought about a trump and then said, "Oh, what the heck?" I put the queen of hearts on the table and hoped something fun was happening because I knew I missed 6 diamonds on board 1. Right, but this is just such a normal lead, and it gives you the best score. Right, look at this. A reasonable choice of leads gives you 95.3%, and then just sitting back and waiting to take your tricks on defense. Well done, Michael and Raluca. Good stuff. So this was my result on board 3, and it's so normal, right? I think this is not a hand I would ever upgrade to 2-0. Those of the scores above, the 4 spade bidders, they all upgraded this hand, which is, good luck. And John Hurd, same. He upgraded his hand. Did Brad do it here? No, just John Hurd actually upgrades his hand to a 2-0 trump bid. And that is just being super aggressive, in my opinion. And getting a little bit lucky, to be honest, that you're taking this many tricks. Right here, we have 17 points exactly. Right? And this is my score right here. I opened a no trump, my partner transferred, I bid 2 spades. And I know I'm behind already. Right? So if I were going to do something crazy, this would be a hand that I would do it on. That's too crazy for me. Right? I'm only 4-4-3-2. And, I'm just not in the business of upgrading hands like this. If I had a 5th club, sure, right? A 5th diamond, sure, I don't care. Yeah, give me some more stuff and I'll do it. But here, no, not in this spot, right? I just don't see any reason to do it. And if you open 2 spades and just make 5, like you're going to get 53.6%. If you do upgrade it. You get very lucky on this hand to be able to actually take this many tricks, to be honest, as you saw the defense, right? You're going to get rewarded, but you probably shouldn't. All right, you got lucky on this one, folks. I'm calling you out. But here, I mean, the majority of the field is right where we are, right? 2 spades, there you go. Just a little bit of an above average. And honestly, some boards are meant for swinging, right? Other boards are not. This is a board that's not really meant for swinging because you're so far out there when you swing, right? That's a small percentage of people out there on this one, on the top there. So here, I think you're okay if you're in this one. But let's take a look at the play. It's actually pretty fun, right? They actually start off with a club on this auction, right? And it goes club. I could have played low there, but it's not really going to make any difference. It goes ace of diamonds, diamond, and you think, okay, maybe they're getting a rough here, but then we can set up diamonds. But no, diamonds are just set up now. Now you just have to draw trump, folks. And that's the key on this hand. It's hard to do it because of what just happened, right? You can't get over to the dummy any other way than maybe trumping something, right? So you're going to have to draw a couple rounds of trump from your hand, right? So here I just play the ace of spades and the king of spades. And all we're trying to do is just get rid of the trump so we can run our diamonds and run our clubs, and then that's it, right? But here it goes ace of hearts after we draw those 2 rounds of trumps, and now you're just hoping this rough survives low, which it's so likely to, and now you've already seen them follow to 2 rounds of spades. You can easily draw 2 rounds of trump, which you will there. You only have to draw 1 when you see them break evenly, and then the rest are yours, right? But the key thing is drawing trump before you run those side suits there. And here's the hand if you actually rebid 2 no trump instead. Here, North just commits you to 4 spades, which is pretty interesting with their 5-5. I mean, you kind of like it on this hand for sure. And then actually goes ace of diamonds opening lead, and then diamond. Okay, so they set up the diamonds immediately. And now it's just, spade, spade, and then probably club. Yeah, okay. Just club towards that king there, setting up a couple of tricks in that dummy, and now he can take the same rough that we took, right? And then he just draws 2 rounds of trumps, and that's all she wrote. In fact, only needing 1, right? So here, 98.7 if you overbid, but for the rest of us, not too bad. 53.6. That's pretty darn good. But here at this point, I'm not too happy with my personal score. And here I'm going to cycle back to my table, but it started to get more interesting from my side of the table because I started to kind of say, okay, I'm gonna use this cough medicine high as an excuse to go a little wild, and I scrape back a few percentage points in these middle 4 boards, or middle 3 boards, excuse me, and then I just dumped it at the end there. But here, let's take a look at board number 4. I played 3 no trump, and here I just kind of picked a way to get to 3-0 in this hand. It went a heart by partner. I bid 2 clubs, just making sure we're getting into a game forcing situation. And at this point, I don't even know if I want to bid clubs again. I want to disguise this hand to some degree, and you get really surprised with the dummy on this one. So it's you disguised your hand enough from partner that they let you play probably a weird contract in 3 no trump. But after we bid 2 clubs, partner now just bids 2 diamonds, and I just decided to bid 3 no trump, right? And this is just, hey, I probably have an entry or 2 in my hand maybe. I have a good heart holding, and I have a semi-solid 7-card minor suit, right? So if give partner 1 club, and I might just get to take a club finesse and take the rest of this suit sometimes, right? So here, that's just, I'm trying to get to a spot where I think I can take 9 tricks. And you'll see, there are a lot of different ways you could go about bidding this hand. Here's some of the other tables here. Another kind of, and maybe that's the pathway to 10 tricks, apparently, is our auction. Right here, when you rebid clubs, partner's going to bid 3 spades, and now you're just going to have a normal 3 no trump bid there as well. I would say this one's probably more likely, but here's another one, 3 no. This one just reveals a little bit more of the hand of the opponents, and that's kind of why I jumped to 3 no trump on this one. If I'm confident I'm gonna play 3 no on a lot of bids that my partner's gonna make, I'm gonna get there in a less revealing way to the robots, and maybe I get them to do something funky. And this is a very interesting hand because this hand is basically about end playing your opponents as declare. And let me show you what I mean. The opening lead is a spade, and you're just going to duck this around to your king. And at this point, I think I cashed a club, but I just cashed one round of club, pitching a low diamond. I'm confident the 6 of diamonds is going to be a trick, but who knows? On this hand, it might have ended up being a trick at some point. And then I just played a diamond to take a diamond finesse and see what was doing there. And I'm just kind of allowing them the ability to get in and maybe lead something for me also. I don't have a problem with them leading anything at all. And now I play a heart, and I'm trying to set up tricks on that side of the table over there. Right? And now they just start setting up tricks for you sometimes, right? So here, I think the robot got a little bit confused, just cashed the ace of hearts, and now has left me with not only an entry to dummy, right? You see, I still have this ace of diamonds over here, but 3 good heart tricks and maybe some good spade tricks as well, right? So it's a really interesting spot. But now they get even more, more interested in helping by just leading a low club towards my holding, right? So now I can take my clubs, pitching that last spade, and now I can just take a diamond finesse, and I'm pretty confident it's going to win, even though it doesn't have to 100% of the time there. And then I just get to take a bunch of tricks that way, right? But here it's essentially, and I'll show you how one of the other pros played it. Here's Brad playing 3-0, same exact hand. He also, he bid 1-0 trump forcing and then 3-0. Another interesting way. He knows the robot's going to respond to 1-0 trump forcing. That they're never going to play it as semi-forcing. So he planned to get to 3-0 trump in an even more devious way for the robots. I don't recommend this. Like, I recommend you play down the middle, because a lot of weeks you might just crush the pros, to be honest, with some of the plays that they make. So here, let's take a look at how he played it, though. That's always the thing to look at with every pro. You want to see what they do as far as the play. And here, I think Brad fired a spade. Yeah, he actually played a spade right away and took a spade finesse. Right? He read the lead from West as 10-9 doubleton, or 10-9 doubleton. He read it as top of a sequence, 10-9, not a doubleton. And then it goes 10 of spades, king, low to the 8. Now he's set up 2 spade tricks. And now he just gets a club lead. Wow. He gets to take a free finesse, pitch a diamond probably, yeah. And now he says, okay, well, I don't have all the tricks in my own hand. Let's set up that dummy. And I think the dummy is the one you want to set up, right? That has the entries more likely, and it has a very nice suit that can be set up, right? Jack 10 fifth opposite queen small. He's just kind of taking out insurance just in case things go, badly elsewhere. And now he just, okay, I'll take that spade trick, and I'll take another spade, see what you pitch, and here comes a heart. Right. So now he's just kind of saying, okay, which side of the table do you want to let me win on? Right. You can let me win in my hand. I got lots of clubs for you. Right. Or you can let me do this. And here they just actually lock him in the dummy. And at some point, he just leads the ace of diamonds and the queen of diamonds. He just has 9 tricks. Right. So it's an interesting hand when you look at it from the beginning. You don't have every trick on one side or the other. Right. You're going to have to take a few here, a few there. But the heart suit is the best one to set up, and if you can take a diamond finesse, that is going to provide you with not only entries, but also a couple extra tricks as well, right? So here, the spade finesse at trick 2 is pretty interesting. I kind of like that, just because it is a robot. Robot will, they will sometimes lead doubleton honors, but usually not 10s, right? 10s, they almost always have the 9, or it's like a stiff. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, but it seems like it's a pretty reasonable play from Brad there, trick 2, and that gets him only to 9. But really, that's all we're trying to do. You're trying to survive this hand, right? When you have to play 3-0 trump, you'll notice what surviving gets you, right? 87.3 is surviving, 51 is down 1, and then you can go further down as we've all seen for sure, right? So here, very, very good score if you just survive 3-0 trump. And look at these hands, right? When it feels difficult, it's going to feel that same way to everybody else that's sitting in that same contract. All right, let's see what happened on board 5. So let's take a look at what Ishmael Del Monte did on this last board here, or board 5, excuse me, not last board. This was just 3-0 trump making 4. This was the same score that I had as well, and on different auctions. The moral of the story is North opens 1 spade. We're always going to just make a game forcing 2 club bid here, right? So it's going to be 1 spade, 2 clubs at every table. And then when North rebids 2 spades, we have to understand That for the robot isn't always a 6-card suit, even though on this one we get confirmation if we bid 2 no trump, which is pretty normal, right? We're just going to show, okay, I don't have support for spades and I'm willing to play some no trump. And then partner bids 3 spades. In this case for the robot, this is confirming a 6-card suit. In a normal case, if 2 showed 6, this would usually suggest a 7-card spade suit, right? So take this when you're playing regular bridge. Right, this sequence for North should show a 7th spade almost always. Okay, but for the robot, they will rebid 2 spades with 5-card holdings and minimum hands. Okay, so you just need to be mindful of that. Only over 2 over 1. Over a no trump bid, they'll always rebid their 6-card major. Okay, but here when we bid 2 over 1, they have a slightly different agreement, and we've seen it a few times in these things. But at this point, you're just kind of backed into playing 3 no trump. My auction, I ended up just jumping to 3 no trump at some point, right? So when a spade, 2 clubs, they bid 2 spades and I just bid 3 no trump regardless. I didn't care to hear any other bids. And again, just trying to conceal information from the opponents and just playing 3 no trump from my side. And here, making 4 was worth 93.8%. Let's see how we did it. It went a low heart lead, which is always interesting. It's supposed to be 4th best, right? In a real sense, this is why it's kind of frustrating when you're playing defense or you're declaring while with the robots defending, is the lead isn't as revealing as it usually would be. Here we would take 4 hearts to the bank by a left-hand opponent, and we can't at this point. But here you're kind of taking a free finesse, right? You're looking at this, you see, okay, I'm either going to see an honor or I might even win this 9 if that's 4th best from Jack 10 4th, which wouldn't be out of the question here. But here we get to win our king. And now the question is, where are our tricks going to come from on this deal? And when we look at our winners, we have 2 more hearts that we know of for 3 total hearts, 2 diamonds for 5, the ace of spades for 6. We need some extra tricks for sure, right? Where are they going to come from? Well, there's a couple of spots they could come from, and they're both the black suits, right? They're either going to be clubs or spades. And I'm interested to see how everybody played this hand, because it's not an easy hand to deal with, as you can see by the result. But here's what I did. I actually played a spade and just ran it. I ran it around for a couple of reasons. Number one, this might produce an honor that's pretty awesome, right? That would be the king or the queen. And now we have a chance to set this suit up without it even breaking properly. However, also, we have 6 of those spades over there, 1 in our hand. That's 7 total. If this breaks evenly, we have a chance to take extra spade tricks for our rest. And the club suit just looks ugly, right? It looks like it's not as easy to set up as spades unless we get the opponents to lead a club, which would be great, right? Them leading a club would help us quite a bit, right? Because we at least get 1 free look at that. But here, 7 of spades for a number of reasons could break the suit up a little bit, and then we get to take tricks later, or we get to see something like this, which is really nice, right? We get to see the queen get played, and then comes a diamond, right? So here I chose to actually win that over there with the ace, and then I played the ace of spades to see what it was doing, if I saw a good card or not, and there's a good card to see, right? The 10 of spades. So now I just hammer out that king of spades. I want that king of spades out of the deck so that I can take my 3 spade tricks over there. And notice we still have that queen of hearts as the entry, right? So we're going to use that later. And we still know that hearts might be breaking evenly as well, right? So here, I'm just going to take the money and run, and we notice hearts breaking evenly right here. Boom. And now we just take the 9, 8, and 5. And we keep a lookout for the ace and king of clubs just in case something really magical is happening. But we're not going to ever see that because we don't get to play our hearts first. So here, we just get to play our ace of hearts and our 9, and there's 10 rippers, right? So not too bad. I'm interested to see what might have happened on some other auctions. So let's jump into a different table. Here's Ish. Ish had the slower walk to 3 no trump, right? He bid 2 no and 3 no. Same lead though. Deuce of hearts, and then there comes a spade. Yep, it looks a lot like ours. And then ace of spades, and yeah, winner, right? Let's get those spades, right? So I think a lot of people that were on this side, here's Johnny Hurd. Looks like he bid, wow, he concealed his club suit completely. I wonder what lead he got. Ah, look at that. He chose a different pathway to the top of the mountain. He bid 2 diamonds, kind of like as a I don't know. He's psyching the robot, basically. He's really trying to win, actually. He sees the same auction, but he's kind of concealed clubs. He's just trying to either get a club lead, right, or just avoid a diamond lead, essentially, both of which one might be really good. Right, so here he does get the king of clubs led, and he sees the 10. Oh, yeah. And now lefty does pretty well. They actually develop every club trick they have. Except, yeah, they unfortunately crunch too many of their partners' honors together. There's the 10 and the 9 right there. And then 8. Oh, I'm going to finesse myself. Thank you very much. Can't believe he has 5 clubs, right? That is a robot trick for sure, right? He is absolutely bamboozled. The robot can't believe it, and it won't, right? It will not. It has been led down the pathway, even though partner tried to say, okay, I don't know what that signal is going to mean to them, but apparently it didn't say, hey, he got us, right? So here they just kind of blindly lead into that. And now it's just easy, right? Now he just plays hearts and tests those. And he sees he's got everything going for him here. He just has to lose one trick at the end. All right, well played, right? And that was an absolute bamboozling of the robots, right? Got them to not only cash the ace king of clubs, but then finesse their 8 of clubs. And he needs that into that 7 to avoid another club loser. All right, well done. But the correct path, was I mean, I don't know if it was 100% correct, bidding 3-0 over 2 spades, but it seemed like it was okay. But the rest of the people that did the same, like similar stuff here, just get on that spade suit, I'm guessing, right? There it is. Yep, our best path. If the clubs were better, right? Let's say we had queen 10 9 of clubs in our hand. Now you would fire clubs, right? Because you're going to get the same extra amount of tricks there, and then maybe they lead spades for you in that sense as well, right? So here, cool stuff. Well done if you were in 3-0 trump making 4. Board 6, I did pretty well. This was me, and I have to say this is just kind of a guess as to, should you go higher or shouldn't you? And I'll tell you why I did. The auction was the same at every table, I'm guessing, at this point. 1 spade by south, 3 clubs by west, and then partner jumps to 4 spades. So partner's really not showing a terrific hand by that bid, by the way, right? They're jumping to 4 spades. The one thing they are usually showing is a 10-card fit, right? Or without that, a 9-card fit with some shortness, right? So on this sort of auction, when our void is in clubs, picture a hand where you might make slam opposite partner's range. Like put a hand together that partner would definitely just, bid 4 spades with, but might have some cards for you that would be helpful. I mean, I'm picturing like a 6 count. Like give partner the ace small of hearts and the queen of diamonds or something, queen 3rd of diamonds, and a 5-card spade suit, right? That's a hand I can probably make a lot of slams opposite. And I didn't really want to give up over 4 spades. So I certainly didn't want to bid 4-0 trump either, because the answer to that is kind of sometimes, more confusing than it's worth, because we have a void in our hand. Even though one thing I know about the robot is when they make vulnerable preemptive bids, and that's what that 3-club bid is there. When they make vulnerable preemptive bids, they usually have the goods, right? So I'm not expecting my partner to have too much wasted in the club suit. So if they have all their points in hearts and diamonds and just a lot of spades, they don't even need points in spades. Just 5 of them would suffice, right? We don't even need them to have an honor in spots like that, even though an honor is not bad, right? That's a nice thing to see. But here, I just think there were too many in partner's range to not want to bid against. So I bid 5 clubs, and then partner bid 5 hearts, which was, hey, I'm cooperating with your slam try, and then I just bid 6 spades, right? I just said, okay, if they're willing to cooperate once, I'm not going to get funky here. I'm just going to go ahead and bid a slam and hope that we're in the right spot. I know I'm not supposed to bid too much because partner jumped to 4 spades, right? They don't have a huge hand. They're not going to have the magical hand that's strong because they could have made a Q bid over 3 clubs, right? So here, I'm happy to be getting to a slam, maybe, that has a shot of making. And here, it's an interesting hand. It's not really straightforward because it's kind of mirrored image. on this one when you take a look at it. And let's take a peek. Not a ton of people bidding a slam here. Let's take a look at who else might have been in 6 spades on this one. Here's Ish again. We had the exact same auction actually. And let's see how we played it here. They led a diamond, which is, if you have this auction, they're going to have the same lead basically on each side. And here you're going to take your free finesse, right? They gave you a free finesse for the jack just in case that helps. And then you'll see the ace or the king cashed, right? Make sure you cash the honor from the side with 2 first. If you get a bad break, jack 4th, you'll be able to finesse it in either direction as long as you cash from the side that has 2 honors first, okay? So that be a lesson to you always. Goes spade to the queen, just drawing trump here, trying to figure out how the heck to play that heart suit, right? Now, the key is we have to strip this hand down, right? And what I mean by that is we want to, if we are going to allow the opponents to win a trick, which we're going to have to on this one, we want them to be restricted as to what they can lead, right? And watch what Ish is going to do here. He's just going to play diamonds. He's going to win a diamond over there, and then he's going to rough a club back to his hand. And now, when he plays hearts, all right, when he plays hearts, the opponents aren't going to have a choice as to what to lead back. They're either going to have to lead a heart or give them a slough and a rough, which here isn't that devastating, to be honest, for the opponents. But he takes this down to the very end and plays 8 of hearts. There goes the 10. He covers with the jack. And now he has just a given finesse, basically, at this point by the opponents. And the hand is over. Right? And I think most people that played 6 spades were going to play it some version of it this way. In fact, most people that are playing 4 spades are going to play it the exact same way. I kind of took almost the exact same line. I think I might have roughed a club earlier or something like that. But you don't have to play every diamond either, because I guess the squeeze possibilities make that a little better, but you can just strip it down this way as well. And then you have some communication in the diamond suit also. But the same thing's going to happen. It doesn't matter. Right? Those of you that just stayed in 4 spades, which honestly was most of you, you just do well by making 6, right? 59.3%. That is good stuff, right? You'll take that for kind of making a normal decision as well. This is a very weird one, right? You'll notice ton of the pros did not choose to go on, right? And I don't blame them. It's very close on this one because partner jumped to 4 spades, right? So this is a spot where we can't expect to always be bidding a slam, even though it might be okay to be in that slam, right? It's just the spot where you made a very normal choice, right? Partner jumped to 4 spades. The only thing that gets me kind of to want to bid in this spot, and you'll notice I'm one of the few that did, right? There were only a couple of us up there. It was just the fact that they were bidding clubs, and that's a suit that they are usually going to be pretty strong in robot terms. I mean, I guess not always, but most of the time, and they're very solid in these vulnerable spots, right? I'm going to spend board 7 with Brad Moss here, the man, the myth, the legend here. He had a pretty similar auction to, I guess, what most of you would see on this hand. I think it's pretty normal to open a no trump, especially in a robot tournament with the south hand. It is getting close to that 2 worthless doubleton spot, but queen small is usually a reasonable holding to be led into. And on this hand, what else are you going to do? You're going to open a club. I suppose if it goes a spade, you're going to have to pick what's right after that one, right? So I don't know. I'm okay opening a no trump. That's exactly what I did on this hand. I just didn't play it nearly as well as some of these other players. It went 2 spades by the North player. And this is just a weird thing that the robot plays. It's minor suit statement. It's essentially just asking for your minor suit holdings. And here we clearly want to share our club suit, I have to be honest, because that's a good holding when partner has the minors, right? Give him like ace king 4th or 5th of diamonds and ace 5th of clubs. We might make a slam if they have a stiff spade, right? So here it goes 3 clubs, and then this 3 heart bid is another part of that system. And make sure you're always bouncing over these when you see them live, okay? This 3 heart bid is just, hey, I have heart shortness, right? That's not that great for us. If they had spade shortness, I would like this hand a lot more, right? Because this is a forward-going bid for sure, right? When partner does not pass, right, after they've done something in the minors, they're showing something reasonable. So this is an attempt to play higher, and we're going to oblige them, but we're going to bid 3 no trump, right, which is perfectly normal in this hand. You just have to recognize your tricks right off the bat, right? They get off to their best lead, the 3 of spades. Now that's a 4th best lead. How are you supposed to read this every time with this robot stuff, right? So here, 3 of spades to the 10, and they win their jack, and now they fire a heart, right? So this is good for you. If you're counting your winners, you have 5 clubs and you have 3 hearts. That's 8. You need a 9th trick, right? And that's what you need to realize right away. And that's what I just was in my fog not even thinking about until about the fact that you realize you might not have 9 tricks, right? So here, to make sure you just stick to the basics, right? 3 hearts, 5 clubs is 8. You need a 9th. It's not going to be a spade very likely, although it could be still. Right? You're not sure yet. You don't know where that ace of spades is. But it's usually not good for you in these robot spots. But here you have no choice. You're going to play a heart to the queen. You may have a 9th trick with that 10 of hearts at some point. But now just comes to the spot, okay, let's get 9 tricks. And here Brad does it in a really nice way. He actually makes a suboptimal play in diamonds just to get the right person to duck the diamond, right? So he just plays a low diamond to the king. Right? And if it's on his left, that guy's so likely to duck, right? Seeing that Brad transported over here to his hand to do this. And it's going to kind of obscure the location of the queen of diamonds, right? So then maybe this is one of those times where the robot just fires a diamond next after they win their ace if it's to their right. But here, Brad sees this win. And then he says, okay, that's 9 tricks, folks. Let's dance, right? So now run clubs first. Give them a chance to pitch their hearts, right? And here, I don't think they pitch hearts, but they do something good for Brad later on. I think they pitch something maybe weird in diamonds. No, there we go. 10 of hearts to the jack, and he just end plays right-hand opponent. Like, look, right-hand opponent has the ace of spades and the 9 of spades, and Brad's dummy has king small. So that's a pro for you guys. A robot just concedes one. He likes to just take his last trick to the bank here. So there it is. 3-no trump making 4. Well done. And that was worth 95.8%. I think 3-no making 3 was just going to be a huge score also, 83.8. Lots of people going down in other contracts, including lots of 3-no downs and so on and so forth. Lots of club contracts as well. Don't get confused too much with these weird contracts or weird robot things. The key thing to recognize is if North had shown spade shortness, you just need to know that you can't play no trump. But you also might need to know, hey, I want to try to play slam and clubs now if that's your hand partner. But most of the time when the robots do something in the minors, they're either going to leave you there or you're going to play 3-no, right? If you just remember, if go along those lines, unless you see a real problem, right? And the real problem on this one would be them bidding 3 spades rather than 3 hearts. When they bid 3 hearts, when they bid the major that you have a lot of good cards in, just ask yourself, hey, is that okay for no trump? Yeah, it's pretty good for no trump here. Let's do that. All right? And then just count your winners, folks. All right, let's see board 8. And when I say count your winners, folks, I'm like talking to myself from 2 days ago when I played this. Now, I have to say, some of you made 3-no trump, and you did an amazing job to do so. That was worth a heck of a lot more. 65.2%, though, is 3-no trump down 1, right? So if you got to 3-no trump on this, which you should, I think, you're looking at an unorthodox way to get there in John Hurd. He upgrades everything to the higher version of no trump. So here, what I think most of you would have just opened 1 no trump with, he opened a club, saw a partner bid a no trump, and then played 3-no trump from that other side of the table, right? So here, an even more aggressive line to 3-no trump, which is a contract we should all get to. This is a more normal auction, guys. 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, which is the robot's way to invite. And when they bid 2 no trump, they have now gotten to their only invitational sequence. And this is for all that garbage they play in their minor suit transfers. Right? They don't have a way to invite anymore, so they use this as their way to invite, right? So this would be a weird spot where they bid Stamen and they may not have a 4-card major. But here, you have 17, folks. You just accept this raise to game, right? They're inviting you to bid a game. They're usually going to have a good 8 or 9, usually 9, and 9 opposite a good 17 is game, right? You're not flat. You have 4, 4, 3, 2. Just get your side to game. That is all. You're just trying to kind of decide whether you're at the high or the low end. You can't get more on the high end, right? You see other pros like kind of upgrading a hand like this, right? So here, this is the spot where you definitely want to be in 3-no trump. Problem is, you're not going to make it usually, right? This is a super tough hand to make. In fact, if I just flash on the double dummy, it says you can always make it, but more than half the field, way more than half the field went down 1, and some people went down 2, including some people that might be close to me here. So here, This is a spot where very few people were making it. If you made it, just 9 tricks, you were getting 90% of the match points on this board. And if you go down here, 65% is down 1, down 2 is 33, and then we have even more. We have down 3s and down 4s. That's going to happen in hands like this because this is a kind of a brutal assault here, this 3-no trump contract. Let's take a look at one of the people that actually made 3-no trump. It was actually the highest scoring pro-ish here. He had kind of the normal auction, so that's why I want to look at this hand. I was going to share John Hurd's down 1, but he played it from the other side of the table, so it might have been just a little bit more weird. So here, I think that's the lead that's going to come at you against 3-no trump. It's the lead that came at pretty much everybody when you played it from this side of the table. Heart to the queen, right? And now you're looking, okay, well, I could have, 2 spades. I have that. I know that. I could have all 4 diamonds. That's 6. And maybe 2 clubs. That's 8. Right? You can't quite get to 9 on this. I'm shocked at anybody that did. But let's take a look at what Ish chose to do. And he's kind of a robot whisperer. So he played a low diamond to the king and just probably took a diamond finesse. This is exactly what happened at my table. And then it went spade. Interesting. To the ace. And now it goes diamond. And did they pitch a club maybe? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, give the opponents an opportunity to do something good, and they might not disappoint you. Here, they don't really know what's safe. Look at the left-hand opponent's problem. They don't necessarily want to pitch like a good heart trick, possibly. Also, they certainly can't pitch a spade. That's terrible. They know that, right? They're pitching away that, even though they can't see partners 9 of spades saving them over there. But still, it's a spot where you just are not sure what you're going to do. And now when he takes a club finesse, it goes club. Ooh, he plays low. Interesting. And then he gets the best of all worlds. Wow, okay. I'm sure he was playing low to maybe reserve the right. He wanted to take this again. He thinks lefty might have that. Or he can just play for the drop later as well. But here they just absolve him any guess whatsoever. And now they lead a suit, which he does have a stopper in. And now he gets to take his 9 before they ever take those heart tricks. Most of us saw a much worse version of that, right? Here is, I'm just going to flash into some down 2 here. No, this is the normal choices, right? There's the heart. I think that's not the worst choice, is taking a club hook right away, right? Maybe you get something like this, where now you get to develop another trick, and then maybe that diamond finesse wins later for your 9, right? But here, they eventually figure out to lead hearts, and then you're just kind of in a territory where you just don't have enough tricks, right? You're going to try to take 9, and you're just going to take way less because you tried to take 9, right? And that's the same thing that happened. My table, I was just trying my best to get 9 tricks and that sort of holding, and it just wasn't going to happen there. But look at this, guys. If you're down 1, how great is that, right? 3-no trump down 1, you think you're getting a bad score, 65.2%. Here's that play at the other table. I guess they lead a spade from that side. Let's see how this happens. Now it goes, yeah, if you lead a club initially, oh, that was pretty good. You played club to the 9 and it went king. Now they just figure out the heart position, though. It's time to lead hearts, and then you're stuck with a diamond finesse at some point, folks, right? Think about it. Once we get here, this is actually a really good position to get to. You've taken the most clubs you can take on this, which is 3. Right? You still have 5 total tricks. You have 1 spade for 6 and 2 diamonds for 8, right? You have to have a 9th trick, and that's your downfall here. If you played diamonds before, oh, you actually got it right. How did he go down here? He played the robot, hey, let's cover it, and he didn't, so he assumed it was wrong. Wow. That's an interesting one, folks. That's a fun one to end on, too. He gets it right. Watch, he sees this 10, so he goes, oh, well, now I can get really into Robot Town here. So here's exactly what he's thinking. And I haven't even talked to him, but this is perfect. He plays the Jack of Diamonds, and he thinks that 10 fell. Okay, now I can actually take a normal finesse in this way. But he's hoping the robot is just normal with robot world and just covers everything. So now he's trying to get a read. He's just playing Jack of Diamonds. You didn't cover, so now I think the other card, the queen, is with East. So I'm going to take my king, and he's wrong for the contract too. That was insane. He was going to make 10 tricks from that, I think, right? If he gets this right, he gets actually the Jack would be his 7th, then he'd cross to the king for 8. Spade to the king is 8, and the 9 of diamonds is sorry, maybe it's still 9. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, down 1, pretty good, 65.2%, but that's got to feel bad when you've done your best to set it up, but now they just get to run hearts, and you have that king of spades there at the end. Oh, well, interesting stuff, guys. Well, I hope you guys could tell I was kind of struggling to get this done, but I'm feeling better every day. My voice feels like it's at least back. I can get through this length of video without it going entirely badly. But I will see you guys for the rest of this week. And don't forget, Tuesday night, defense practice is back. It's an evening course, but guys, it's actually not just for live people. It's for actually people to watch on replay. It's a really good look at kind of a live defensive decision-making class, right? So we're going to be playing defense. I'm going to be asking you questions about the count of the other player's hands and how many points you think partner has and what cards are the best to play in each of these defensive situations. And speaking of preemptive bidding, that's the bridge quiz on Wednesday, folks. So join me Wednesday, March 16th. That's this coming Wednesday at 3:30 p.m.